Good morning, everybody. Big up to all of you joining. It's your boy Mark and MUFC fan with a morning vibe. Coming to tell you guys, let's look ahead. Work in progress as Manchester United. I know it's not that stream saying Ten Hag out, guys, but you know what I mean? We're Man United fans. We got to support the team, got to support the team. And the new structure is here. We got to give them our full support and let the team know that we are here. It's some dark times right now, and we got to support them. And right now, it's not looking good, but we're Man United fans. We got to be there. We got a game tomorrow, guys. It's in the evening. We got Aston Villa. If we can turn them over, guys, our season might be at a turning point. Manchester United, there's a predicted 11 in store. As you know, we did the match preview last night. Big up to you, Euro fan in the building. Hope you're well. Big up to all the Reds in the building. Big up to all the Reds this morning. Hope you guys have a wonderful day yourselves. Let's talk about this, predicted 11 really quickly. It's going to be a really short stream for me this morning. Got lots to talk about, got lots to do. So let's bring it to the stage. The predicted 11 for Manchester United versus Everton. Let's see what's going to happen here. You know what I mean? It's going to be an interesting tie matchup with good evening, none other than Unai Emery. Some would say he's a very good manager when he doesn't have any pressure to win. And some would say he's a very good manager when it comes to a mid-table club. I think he's a good manager in general, but you cannot deny that when he goes to a big club, he has never succeeded before. It's an interesting thing. It's always tough. There's a lot on the line this weekend for Manchester United as they visit Aston Villa. The Reds need 3 points after a slow start to the season, and Eric Ten Hag is said to be walking on a tightrope to keep his job. After Sir Jim Ratcliffe was reported as saying, "It's not my job to sack him." But at the same time, the owner did not back the manager. He did back the manager. He said, we did plan. It was going to take time. We have to be patient. So it's an interesting thing. Aston Villa go into the game after beating Bayern Munich 1-0 in the Champions League to come in a game with complete contrasting situations at play. Ten Hag's side has just won 6 of 20 Premier League matches in the last 2 seasons. That record must change if he is to keep his job. Manchester United have predicted 11 are going to look like something like Andrew Onana in goal. He was definitely going to stick with him. There's a few question marks about Kobe Mainoo's fitness as he withdrew from the 3-0 defeat to Tottenham with a knock that forced him out of the Porto tie. He trained on Friday and should feature at some point versus Aston Villa. However, we're going to opt for more protection by starting Casemiro alongside Manuel Ugarte with possibly Bruno Fernandes in the 10. I was looking more like Christian Eriksen would be starting. Give Bruno a rest. Save him from himself. But let's see. It's waited to be seen. The front three probably will have Alejandro Garnacho, Rasmus Højlund, and Marcus Rashford. Højlund is back on the score sheet against Porto. Rashford the same, and he's got an assist. It's going to be interesting to see how, if Delo is moved to the right back position and Mazraoui takes over the left back role for this game. Delo has been not having a good time the last 2 or 3 games on the left. It's not his major, it's not his position. He's usually a right back. I would expect him to, give Delo a little break, bring him back to a familiar spot, and allow him to have some game time. Guys, what are your thoughts in the comments? Let me know what you're thinking. I think it's going to be an interesting contest. You know what I mean? Big up to you, Ray Cal Brown. Oh, you were working last night, bro. I know how it goes. I know how it goes. You know what I mean? What are your thoughts on that lineup that I just talked about? As you can see, it's looking like it's going to be something more just like that. You know what I mean? The guys coming in as, Onana, Mazraoui, De Ligt, and partnered with Martinez. Martinez, who I think should take up rest as well. He's been dropping stinker after stinker. I think we should be starting Maguire. I don't know how you guys might feel about that. I think Maguire is better equipped to deal with the physical presence of John Duran. Yeah, I think that should be the theme. But, having Ugarte and Casemiro in the middle is going to spell defensive experience and energy for me. And I think that's the pivot we should be leaning towards. At this point, if the manager decides not to start Christian Eriksen and does start Bruno is the captain, I'm not going to be too mad at that. At the same time, I would say this: he definitely needs to get some rest and save himself because his season has not started well. It's going to be interesting. Please go to this post. Very interesting comment on Arteta's not so good start at Arsenal to such a point that one stage they attacked his car. Oh, that's interesting. Let me check this out. Can't click this. Hold on. Let's check out this article brought to us by Irfan. Let's see what it's saying. Let's see what this article is saying here. Oh. Well, Irfan, what I can say to you, I don't think I could actually show the video. I think it would be a bit of a strike. I'm not too sure. But it's interesting. I spoke about it. Irfan, I spoke about it. I spoke about it the other day. I was telling the guys that Arteta, was in as low as 17th, somewhere between 11th and 17th during Christmas. That first season, that third season of his. He went on to improve in January, and that's how Arsenal finished fifth above Manchester United when we had Ralph Ragnick at the helm before Ten Hag came in, but no one seems to believe that because you know what, they were always seeing progression. It's just really weird, Irfan. It's just really weird. Big up to Ray Carl. Yes, I think we in the defensive midfield, I see Harry in. It's interesting, bro. I think Harry definitely deserves a shout. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to start every game, but there are some games when you need a more physical presence, someone to stop the crosses. I think United needs to be a little bit pragmatic. You know what I mean? I think there's some games for some players would be best to start some players, some games that we start others. Like the game this weekend against Porto, on Thursday, I think Anthony should have started that game. But I know if I said that, lots of people would be mad at me. But I just think, he has more of a bite, more of a fight in him, a little bit more grit than Ahmad has. But Ahmad is very good at keeping the ball. He just needs to bring some more output with his performances. It's going to be an interesting one this weekend. There are lots of games. Things can change. Even a few teams can have some upsets. I'm seeing a few upsets this weekend. So if United could get 3 points, we should skip up the table quite a few places, maybe settle the fan base down a little. You know what I mean? Big up to Richard in the building. I hope you're well. How you're doing, broski? Big up to everyone in here. And I just brought it. I just wanted to come in, give you guys a little short info about the possible starting 11. This is not in concrete either, guys. I think it will change. I do think Harry Maguire and possibly Garnacho will be added to the starting lineup. And yeah, I think Ahmad will be coming off the bench, and I think Lissandro definitely needs to get some minutes on the bench as well. He's been having a rough start to the season, and we need to start saving some of the players from themselves. Football is madness. Some people can handle it to attack, and a man, because of a few losses, is mental. It's mental, bro. Honestly, like it's the first time I've felt like we're in a 10-game season, bro, or 20-game season. I feel like even back in the day when it was less teams, it was used to be like 16 teams or 17 teams in the Premier League. We still never made a fuss over the first 10 games of a season. It's just so weird. And I'm not used to it. And I'm just feeling like uncomfortable by it. I feel like the fan base has gotten to a point where like we're an angry mob and we're driving our anger at the wrong person. I think the anger should be faced at the club, the structure, and the entire team, not just the manager, because these players can be separated from the bad performances. it's not done by the manager himself. I mean, these guys are on the pitch. Some people just think, they blame the manager. They say the manager has these players doing these things. I shudder to think that these guys take programming like NPC characters in video games. But, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I played the game, but I don't try to talk about it like I played the game. I haven't played Premier League. I think that's different level. You know what I mean? Everyone thinks they're a manager. 100%, bro. Sometimes you just got to sit back and say, maybe you don't have an explanation. You might have a theory. Doesn't mean it's true. Doesn't mean it's fact. 100%. Big up to you, Richard, in the building. Guys, today's a long day for me. I have a little bit of, extracurricular activities to accomplish today. So I'm probably not going to have another live today. I will be live tomorrow morning. And, maybe I might be featuring on one of the guys' streams tonight. But today, this is my only stream. And I just wanted to talk to you guys about the possible starting lineup, see how you guys felt. Let you guys send your comments in, what you guys think, who you think should be the starting lineup. Leave it in the comments below. We will definitely be replying to all of your comments. You know what I mean? Big up to Irfan coming in saying, knowing ETH, he won't change his back four. That's him. He once said it in an interview. Why must I change what I believe in? Persistency pays. And being an ex-pro footballer, I agree wholeheartedly. 100%, Irfan. 100%. 100%. You have to keep the system intact until they learn it. If you keep changing and adapting, then what are they going to learn? You know what I mean? They're not going to learn anything. So for me, if guys said they want a style of play, they need to be patient and let the style of play form. You know what I mean? They didn't want results. If they wanted results, it would be much easier for the manager to just be pragmatic. My lineup, well, I made a lineup yesterday, but I will say it anyway. I had the low off the right. I had him partnered with Delit and Harry Maguire. I had Mazarawi on the left. Hold on 1 second. Ginger juice. You know what it is, guys. But I also had in the midfield, I had Ugarte partnered Casemiro. I had Christian Eriksen in the 10. I had Anthony starting on the right wing. I had, Højlund up front with Marcus Rashford off the left. That was my starting 11 for the game because I think we need some grit in the game, and I think we could bring Ahmad on. I think Garnacho could come on as well. Zirkzee can also come on. It gives us options to change the game. You have Bruno on the bench as well. He could come into the game. There's Dan Gore Jr., who is fit. Harry Amas is on the bench. He should be on the bench for this game as well. This is my lineup for the game. This is what I think I'd like to see. What are your thoughts on that, guys? Let me just repeat that again. Højlund in the striker, Marcus Rashford at left wing, Anthony at the right wing, Eriksen in the 10, Casemiro partnered with Ugarte, Mazraoui off the left. I'd have Maguire partnered with Delit, and I'd have the low off the right. Yeah, it's an interesting backline. I think Maguire will give the low some comfort because they know each other. They've been playing a couple seasons together now. I think it would be easier for Delo to, take instructions from Maguire to be the one to lead. I think Delit will take control of the back line and control the line. And you have Mazarawi there off the left, who is experienced. He can read Maguire, provide assistance, you know what I mean? And I think it's going to give us a little bit more balance. I also think that, Lisandro Martinez needs a rest. He's not been having some good performances at all. So that's why I say we should try a 4-4-2. Well, in effect, the 4-3-3 is a 4-4-2. It's just shifted differently. We don't have a flat bank of four midfielders, so in either way, I think it's still a 4-4-2 if you look at it, because I do think that, Anthony drops down and stays deeper. So it does look like we have a flat three with Bruno right ahead of the midfield. And then, you'd have Marcus Rashford up front with Højlund the majority of the time. I don't mind the 4-4-2. I just think, we need to get Cheeto warmed up before we start playing Højlund and Zirkzee together, because if one of them is injured, we don't actually have a replacement. You know what I mean? I do think Rashford would be better as a left striker because I don't think he's a great winger. I never thought he had the mechanics to be a winger, to be fair. He wants to score too much, so I think he should be a striker. But that's just my feelings. Big up to both of you guys saying 4-4-2 is the way to go. Our 4-4-2 is currently a hidden 3-5-2, especially when we have the backs, our inverted backs create the 3-5-2. Watch closely. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I just think we need to do a little more. I think the team needs. Yeah, I think they're just taking them a bit of time to get it comfortable with. You know what I mean? I know the tactics probably are very complex because total football is very different from English football, and you know, having a Dutch coach is different from having an English coach because you're expected to know the role of anyone, any position on the field. And depending on the transition of the game, you could end up as the left back. You have to know what to do. You have to have the same kind of, thought process as a left back in that moment. It's difficult. It expects you to think a lot on your feet. And not only that, the entire team needs to have a good chemistry because you have to be willing to sacrifice yourself to pick up the slack, or the mistakes of your teammate next to you. And that teammate is changing consistently. So you have to know each and everyone's weaknesses, their strengths, what they might do, what they can do, what they could do. It's a lot, guys, and it's going to take time. I think this is why we got the new coaching staff to help smooth that transition and make it faster. And the problem is that we're not giving that coaching staff enough time to make an impact. I mean, do we actually expect them to make a humongous impact in 6 weeks? I think that's too short, especially when not all the players were back until the last week in August, especially the likes of those who played in the Euros. They never returned until the last week of August. So, yeah, guys, I think it's time. I think it's time is the issue. Big up to Richard in the building from MUFCFAN. Exactly that. They are very slow. I said it on Saturday that our players are reactive instead of being proactive. That's why I'm not sure. I would love to see an academy team with no so-called stars. I'm not opposed to that as well, my brother. Guys, it's a short one this morning. I'm not going to stay on too long. I'm about to close the show. I'm going to drop the link really quickly if you guys just want to have a quick say. If not, I will end the stream. I hope you guys have a great day. And what can I say, guys? We need to have patience. It's the one thing I think that we've never tried really. We've always gave a condition for the patience that we're willing to have. And I think it's okay. And yeah, big up to you. No problem, bro. No problem. Big up to you as well. I just think that the patience is something we must have. It's high time we stop giving a condition for our patients, like we must see this or we must see that, because even if we want to see something, when we criticize it the way we do and break it down in so many different ways and make it seem like the positives are minimal and all the negatives are huge, then what's the point? It's like we're defeating our own selves in here before we get to the pitch. It's interesting, guys. It's interesting. Big up to Richard. Big up to you, MUFCFAN. Big up to all of you in the building. Big up to Rasta Stocks as well. Big up to Casimir as well. Big up to Ray Carl Brown. Guys, hope you have a great day. I will be back tomorrow. I'm going to be out for the most of the day today, but I will be back tomorrow morning. And if you guys have the time, join me. We'll call it the match day breakfast, right? We'll have a match day brunch, have some chats, talk about the game, talk about the possibilities. And anyone who wants to come in and have their say about Manchester United, come in, guys. Big up to you guys. Have a great day. Your boy Mark N will catch you guys at a later date. Big up. Smash the likes and subscribe. Don't forget, it helps the channel grow, and we're on the road to 1.
Baby.